Hello, I'm Professor Gronberg, and I'm here to talk about MSFS 739, Resources Management. Resources are almost always limited. The ability to secure, manage, defend, and account for financial resources is a critical part of an organization's business strategy, and it's critical to an organization's success and long-term viability. In this course, students will learn and practice the skills that will allow them to function effectively within and ultimately to manage organizations. Understanding how resources support the achievement of objectives and how the limitation on resources can be creatively managed is critical for leaders. This course examines how resources, mainly of the financial variety, but not exclusively, are marshaled, managed, and justified in support of objectives. It's heavily skills-focused, and these skills can be applied across the three sectors: public, private, and not-for-profit. Specifically, the skills gained in this class will include how to think creatively about securing needed resources to achieve objectives. For students with no experience with Excel, this will introduce them to it. For those with pre-existing skills, this will teach them how to use it in new ways, such as for accounting and budgeting and modeling. It will teach students how to construct and read budgets and budget tables. It will introduce basic concepts in accounting, and it will go through individually for the sectors how to secure funding. So one class will focus on how government agencies are funded, one class will focus on how not-for-profits secure funding, and in particular, how to write and evaluate grant proposals. And one class will focus on how capital is raised and structured in a private company. Further skills that will be gained is how, once funds have been made available, how programs and projects are executed. How to measure effectiveness will cover basic concepts in monitoring and evaluation. The course will also expose students to the basics of compliance, administrative and legal requirements, reporting requirements, and spending limitations, also audits. And finally, the course will cover two areas involving resources, but of the non-financial type: human resources and brand reputation. Those classes will examine how the two are effectively managed and leveraged as a key asset of the organization or firm. Given the broad range of skills addressed and the direct applicability of those skills to any sector, this course is really appropriate for any MSFS student. Most of our MSFS students will someday find themselves in leadership positions within their organizations, probably soon. And this course gives them exposure to the suite of skills that managers will be expected to know. This class was originally developed for the GPS concentration, and so in the past it has tilted heavily toward the government and not-for-profit sectors. Many of the cases were rooted in foreign policy resource challenges, and there was an extensive study of the foreign affairs budget. But beginning in the fall of 2014, the course will extract those core lessons and skills from the issues and cases and will focus more on delivering those universal skills to students in all sectors. It will be less concerned at giving the skill areas in international affairs context in favor of spending more time learning and exercising the skills themselves. I began my career in Washington, D.C. as a staff member and later as a subcommittee staff director on the Senate Appropriations Committee. I handled annual appropriations for the Department of State and Commerce, and the Department of Justice and FBI, and many regulatory agencies such as the SEC and the Federal Trade Commission. Agencies' ability to secure resources and then managing those resources effectively is absolutely essential to their ability to accomplish their missions. While I was on the Hill, I was surprised by how few people really understood the mechanics of the budget process and budgeting in general. In contrast, people who made a point of understanding that process were very effective on behalf of their agencies, or industries or companies, as the case may be. I was excited to have the chance to help MSFS students learn about this opaque process, and in 2012, designed a course intended to cover not only budgeting and the federal budget process, but more broadly how resources are secured and managed in support of international affairs. When I left Capitol Hill, I began consulting for top U.S. companies in the areas of defense and homeland security, high-tech, manufacturing, and transportation on their government relations strategies, as well as on strategic planning and business development. Because of that experience, I can also bring to the students an understanding of how resources are raised, managed, and utilized in private sector companies. Deliverables for this course will include several graded exercises of a quantitative nature, for example on budgeting and accounting. Other graded exercises may include a grant writing exercise, a simulated compliance scenario, and a monitoring and evaluation exercise. There will be a take-home midterm exam and a final project. Some of these assignments may be done in groups and some may be done on an individual basis. Class participation will count as a significant portion of your grade. Most, if not all, of the readings for this workshop are posted on Blackboard or on the Harvard Business Publishing portal. More information will be available about this course, including a week-by-week outline on Blackboard in the Global Business and Finance concentration folder.